Hey everybody, back again to drink another tea with you. Today we're going to be drinking the 2018 Yunnan sourcing Jing Mai. It's a raw pour, and it was pressed in 2018 spring, but it's actually 2016 spring Jingmai harvested tea. So it was stored as Mao Cha for a couple of years before pressing into a cake. Again, we have Superstar Lucy here. Wonderful wrapper illustration by Knapp. And yeah, so a little bit about Jingmai as the water is boiling. Jingmai is in Lancang County, which is the farthest southern county of Simao. Most typically, Jing Mai Mountain area is reached from Menghai. So you have Xishuangbanna, and in the west of Xishuangbanna is Menghai County. And then if you keep heading west out of Menghai, you'll end up in Lancang County. So in a lot of ways, there's a real connection between Menghai and Jingmai, simply because of the proximity. The teas, not really necessarily similar to Menghai teas at all. In fact, Jingmai teas are largely what in Chinese they call zhong xiao ye zhong, which is like a mixed large and smaller leaf varietals. It's a naturally occurring thing. It happens in Yiwu as well. There's several varietals, or kind of mixed leaf varietals. And Jingmai is one of them. As a result, Jingmai teas tend to be very floral. They tend to be very sweet. They can still be quite strong and have bitterness and stringency, just like any good Pu-erh has. But yeah, Jingmai is a region that is one of my favorites, and I've found that finding good teas from Jingmai is indeed elusive. So we were really happy when we came across this one, which was not only good, it's also relatively affordable as well. I believe we're selling this 250 gram cake for $50, which makes it, for a good high quality Jingmai tea, makes it a good price. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna get to it in a second. Got a little itch in my eye right here. But yeah, this is actually one of my favorite teas. I pressed it with the same wrapper that we pressed our Yiwu teas, simply because I felt like this tea, we also pressed two Menghai area teas with this wrapper as well, a Hekai and a Mongsong tea. So we just decided to also press this one as well with that wrapper. But yeah, I think, anyways, I didn't expect the water to take that long to boil, so I'm just kind of filling the moments here. But yeah, I hope everybody had a good 2018. 2018's, by the time you watch this video, is probably either almost on its way out. There's going to be, hopefully, a lot of great teas in 2019. We've already got some great ripe teas that we're pressing into 2019. Some Mongsong ripe, some Bada ripe tea, some Bulang Chateau. We're also going to do a blend of Chateau and Bulang Chateau and Mongsong tea as well. So lots that's going to be happening. As I mentioned in the last video, we have some great ripe teas from 2018 that are being pressed right now and are going to come out pretty soon. So lots of stuff happening. Anyways, let's get to it. I've got 7.2 grams here in my trusty Mountains and Water silver teapot, 120 milliliter teapot. As you all know, this is one of my favorites to brew in. It's easy. I just give it a rinse in between whatever kind of tea I want to, I just brewed ripe tea in there, gave it a good rinse out, and I'm ready to drink some Sheng Pu-erh. And I'm not going to be tasting any, ripe tea at all, as if I, compared to using a clay teapot, which I'd have to dedicate. So let's see. This tea is 2 years old, so you're not going to notice much in the tea soup in terms of it being an older tea. I wouldn't really use the word to describe older, but in 2 years, I guess about 2.5, close to 3 years now, in terms of when the tea was harvested. I'm going to move this over here so I don't get water on it. But yeah, it's definitely got a little bit of a... The thing that I really love about this tea is the aroma. And with any good Jingmai teas, you've got a really just full, thick, sweet aroma. And what in Chinese they call Lancang, which is like an orchid-like aroma, which this tea has. Oh, it's fantastic! I'm ready to brew this one up. But a lot of people ask me if I sell Mao Cha, and again, Mao Cha, for those who don't know, is a loose leaf raw Pu-erh tea, and I don't sell Mao Cha because I really strongly feel that Mao Cha is a tea that should be pressed. Like I drank this tea as a Mao Cha. It had been aged for 2 years, and that's fine. But in terms of long-term aging, the cake tea or the compressed, cake or brick is going to perform much better in terms of aging, in terms of the aroma and the robust taste and the thickness and the complexity of the tea is going to be much better if the tea is pressed, and I'm talking about raw Pu-erh in particular. The action of pressing the tea as well, the steaming of it, causes some of the oils to come out, and then when it's pressed, a lot of that stuff gets, commingled together and and it just creates like I think it kind of locks a lot of the essence of the tea and what's in the tea leaves into the cake, which makes for better aging, and it also makes for a stronger tasting tea as well, thicker. So I'm not a big fan of selling Mao Cha, but each to their own. But I'm not selling Mao Cha, and I don't plan to. Oh. Floral, thick, sweet, honey, orchid aroma. Really satisfying. It's interesting because you look at the leaves and you can tell that these have been aged a little bit. They're more tending a little brownness in the green. I think it would be kind of interesting because when we make raw Pu-erh, we can buy the Mao Cha, then we let it sit, we do the tests on it, let it sit for maybe usually 2-3 months actually before we press it. So in Chinese they call like this period after the tea was processed, raw Pu-erh, Mao Cha, they call it fa han, or sweating. So it loses some of that super greenness. I think in an ideal world, if we let the tea sweat for a year or two and then pressed it, it would just make it immediately kind of like this one, where it's just like you got a real good head start on it. It feels like a little bit more than 2 years, but it's not the same kind of feeling as if this tea was pressed 2 years ago versus age as Mao Cha. Definitely the aging as Mao Cha has kind of lightly accelerated the aged taste that comes out of this tea. But again, the most important thing is the fact that whatever material you use, is the most important thing in terms of the quality of the tea itself. Lucy's over here snoring. It's funny. She likes to wake me up really early because she's hungry, and I go and feed her, and then I'm awake and I can't go back to sleep, and then you know, of course, after she eats, she runs around outside for about 10 minutes and then comes back in and just goes back to sleep and sleeps however long she wants. It's entirely not fair, but, you know, what are you going to do? It's a dog. She's a dog, so. I'm using Shayao's silver cup. I hope she doesn't mind. But this is one of the silver cups that we offer that's like whole sheet of silver that's been pushed down into the cup and then somehow worked out the lip. It's very hot too. Just holding the lip like that is, if I hold the ceramic part, but yeah, you can see it's pretty amazing. Uh-oh. I've been talking too much. Ooh, the second steep right here is just so satisfying, so thick. You can see the tea soup here is definitely, you know, it's quite golden and definitely much kind of more tending towards gold orange than a fresh 2008 tea would be. So, oh, I love this tea. This is really pleasant to drink right now. So I definitely, you know, I'm always plugging the teas because I sell them. That's what I do. I sell tea. So definitely check this. Get a sample of this one. I highly recommend it. I think we pressed 80 kilos or 100 kilos total. So assuming that we pressed 80 kilos, that would be 8 times 4. It would be 320 cakes. So I can't remember if it was 100 or 80, but it's anywhere between 320 and 400 cakes. This is on the listing. But yeah, not a lot. You know, a decent amount, but they will sell out. I think once this tea gains traction and people drink it and really understand what a great tea it is. The interesting thing about Jingmai is it has that really floral sweetness, but then it counters. It's like it's really happening at the same time, like a real floral honey sweetness, along with a it does have bitterness and astringency, but it's definitely, compared to like a large leaf Assamica, it's a little bit less, it's a little more toned down, which kind of makes me, it reminds me a little bit of, it has a little bit of a dancong quality, except without the milky creaminess. It doesn't have, it's more of like a floral oiliness that it has to it. This is one that I would also say is really oily. It really sticks in the mouth. There's a little bit of actual, it's so interesting. It's like, I hate to use the word dark chocolate, but it does have a little bit of that, just the hint of dark chocolate, as if you were eating like, you know, liquefied like chocolate and flowers and with honey. It's very, very comfortable, comforting and enjoyable tea. But at the same time, it's a strong tea. It's not what I would say is an easy drinker. But, you know, again, that's all relative, and that really depends a lot on the person. I've been thinking of making some more kind of like, I don't want to say philosophical videos, but maybe just talking a little bit more about the practice of drinking tea. I've done some of those in the past, and I kind of feel like I've said mostly what I want to say, but I feel like if I said it again, it seems like every time that I end up talking about those subjects, I definitely have a different kind of epiphanies happen. I'm one of those people that when I talk, I tend to what's the right word? Kind of discover a lot of how I think about things, and so maybe we'll do one of those soon. If y'all have any ideas for that, definitely definitely let me know in the comments below. The hardest thing about doing these videos is not being able to listen to some of my favorite music while I do the videos, which is really, really, you know, I feel like it's kind of rough on me because I love to just listen to music and rock out. Yeah, lots of good music out there. Oh, wow. What am I tasting here? I feel like I just can't put words on it. It's very cooling, too. It's floral, it's sweet, it's honey, it's thick, and it's got this cooling. It's like this last one right here. I feel like it almost like it went in and it was just like, huh, like what just happened? Like I feel something, but I don't know how to like put it into words. It was very different. The other one was a little bit more, I think maybe because the tea oils and the Chinese would say like the liugan, like the feeling that stays in your mouth when you drink the tea has kind of established itself with this tea. And so where I was initially kind of like my mouth is meeting the tea, my mouth has met the tea now. And in fact, it's kind of like, it's kind of in this, like, I don't want to say a, you know, plateau, but it's kind of like a, we'll do this steep here and see if some of the subtlety, and I can taste the strength of it's still there, but I'm just getting some different aspects now, like a real cooling aspect. Let's get some more hot water in here. Yeah, again, nice tea soup there. Good color. Gotta use my left hand here. I always feel awkward when I use my right-handed pour. But actually, I'm gonna check this. Make sure I don't burn myself because we just reboiled the water. And this silver cup retains heat really well. Ooh, 152 degrees. So I'm gonna wait a second here. Oh, yeah. Love that smell. Love it. Lucy is just totally zonked out over there. Yeah, it should be pretty close, getting down to about 135 Fahrenheit. Oh, this is good. I wish Mao Cha didn't take up so much space. I'd store it for 2 years and then press cake. That would be kind of the sweet spot, I think. I've had Mao Cha that's been stored 10 years, 15 years, and it really lacks something. Even 5, 6, 7 years, I find that it's lacking a little bit. But this is just like, you know, kind of perfecto. Yeah, this is why Jingmai tea is good. Jingmai tea is not cheap because it has a quality, I think, that really you can't find in other teas. It's interesting because it does share a lot of. It's like it shares a lot with like Sumao, like Jingu teas, quite a bit. But then it has something else too. Maybe. I don't want to say stronger. The cha-chi of some of the Jingu teas, which is, you know, kind of central Sumao, is definitely can be as strong as this Jingmai. But I think it's that Zhong Xiao Yezhong mixed leaf varietal. It has a more of a aromatic, a little bit more of a like an orchid Lancang, orchid aroma to it. Very special tea. But I'm gonna get some water in here. This tea also is, I don't know what steep we're on, but it's, you know, even pushing it a little bit in the beginning, and definitely not short steep times. It's still going pretty strong here. I'd say, just with that last steep, I noticed a little bit of a mellowing, but it's far from being finished. Such a nice mouthfeel with this one too. Really stays. The liu gan is really long lasting. I'm going to start pushing this, but I think we will conclude the video here. I just wanted to say thanks for watching. Definitely check this out. Got lovely Lucy here. Again, thanks to Jake Knapp, who illustrated this. I don't believe this is from any kind of rendering. I believe this is entirely illustrated by him. So hats off to you, Jake. Thank you for this wonderful wrapper. Jingmai, wonderful teas. Definitely check that out. We don't have tons of Jingmai teas, but this is one I would highly recommend. And again, I think 250 gram cake, I think we're selling for $50, so it's pretty affordable. And if anything else, just get a sample, try it out. I think you'll really like it. It's a nice tea. It's got just enough little age to it that it doesn't have that real, a little bit of a harsh greenness that maybe a fresh one would have. So yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you'd like. Leave some comments below, and I will reply. Thanks, and have a good one. Bye.